Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. I was just 20 minutes into a video and my phone ran out of space. I can't believe it, so I had to delete a whole bunch of stuff and start over 20 minutes into it. So it is Wednesday. It's our bye week. It is 9:46 p.m. now, Central Time, my time. I'm going to say this again. If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, I implore you, please hit the red subscribe button. It is free, costs you nothing. My first goal is to hit 500, then 1,000 subscribers. When I hit that, this show will take off and be a jewel. It'll be a show you look forward to watching, just like Law Nations. I love watching Law Nation show. I love calling in. He was one that inspired me to start my own channel. I'm at like 350 right now, but I can't get there without the support of my brothers and sisters that bleed the blue and silver blood collectively, that we all bleed, that blue and silver. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that button, guys. It's free, it costs you nothing. It's a free investment, put it to you that way. This seems to work for Mike Fisher, so I'm going to do it. On the count of three, guys, if you haven't subscribed, let's hit that red button at the same time, guys. 1, 2, 3, boom. Subscribe if you did it. You're a real one, and I love you for it. That like button, like he says, helps beat the algorithms, basically get your video viewed more. On the count of three, guys, if we can hit that like button, 1, 2, 3, boom, like if you did it. You're a real one, and I love you for it. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. Last thing, before I get into all the meat of this, a lot of small content creators that edit just have their Cash App name on the bottom of their video. I have mine in the chats. If y'all seriously donate this season to the channel, all proceeds will go to growing the channel, microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, desktop just for this, for film and graphics, and a call-in line. After week 18 at Washington, the top donator, first place, will get playoff tickets, maximum 3 persons, 50-yard line, medium deck, home or away. Second place, 2 jerseys of your choice, any way, shape, or form. Third place, an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by that time. If donations are better than expected, then prices 2 and 3 will be bigger and better. Ride with me, guys. Help me build this show. And I guarantee you, the Cowboys Sports Report by Charles in Charge will be a cornerstone on your YouTube feed. Now, we're 4-2. We got beat down by San Fran, 42-10. We bounced back and pull out a win on the road. Hard-fought game. We made it harder than we needed to. But we came out with a W. That's all that matters. 4-2. Trade deadline is in less than 2 weeks away. Cowboys insider Jordan Schultz says that Cowboys will be aggressive in buyers by the trade deadline. And he specifically mentions adding a cornerback. Now, I completely agree with that. I mean, besides offensive line, cornerback is what you got to hit. Because when Diggs goes down after week 2 in the practice of week 3 on a one-on-one drill, I mean, when a player goes down for the season of that caliber, you would rather it be him breaking up a big pass to win a game or a game-clinching pick, get injured like that, not during practice. That's what made it hurt even worse. But we've recovered as good as you can after losing who possibly could have been the best corner in the NFL this season in Trayvon Diggs, with Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis. Thank the Lord that we retained him. The stats for our starting 3 corners are better than you think. Deron Bland is allowing 50% completion rate. He's allowed 121 yards, no touchdowns. He's got 3 picks, 7 pass breakups. He dropped 2 against the Chargers. 1 would have been to the house. So he very easily could have 5 picks with 3 touchdowns right now through 6 games. That's Diggs type stats, 2021. And Gilmore, which was surprising because in 2 or 3 games, it looks like he's kind of struggled, but Gilmore's only allowed a 48.3 completion rate. Under 50% is damn good. 194 yards. He's allowed 1 touchdown. He's got 2 picks, 6 pass breakups. Jordan Lewis, 50% completion rate. He's allowed 118 yards. He's allowed 2 touchdowns, no picks. He's got 1 pass breakup. That's solid for your top 3 corners. Now, as far as who we're going to go after, I believe we're going to make a trade. I believe that 100%. Take it to the bank. I mean, if you look at since 2017 and 2017, before the deadline, we traded for linebacker J-Ron Elliott from Green Bay. 2018 was a big trade for Amari Cooper to change the season. 2019, we traded for Michael Bennett to try to, get some life and some spark in the locker room. 2020, we traded for defensive tackle Eli Anku, didn't do anything. 2021, didn't trade for anybody. Last season, we traded for Jonathan Hankins, defensive tackle, and we were that close to getting Brandon Cooks. Houston wanted a second. We didn't want to give him a second. If we'd have known that we were going to pick Schoonmaker with that second, then we should have pulled that trigger in a heartbeat, because Kellen Moore was offensive coordinator at the time, and Brandon Cooks, with that aerial attack that Kellen Moore was, putting out there, would have been hell of an addition, being that Gallup was half the man that, he used to be. Lamb was your only big-time guy. We had to get T.Y. Hilton. If we'd had Brandon Cooks in that playoff game against San Fran, then it would have been Cowboys-Eagles Part 3 in the NFC Championship game. But that's ancient history. We got him in the offseason for much cheaper. Now for trade targets, the super doubtful, Patrick Surtain Jr. for the tanking Broncos. Everybody would love to get him. 23 years old, in his 3rd season. He was drafted in 2021. In his 3rd season. He's going to get paid big after this year. And to get him would be just like the Jalen Ramsey trade from Jaguars to Rams. It'd be 2 first-round picks and a day 3 pick. And the Cowboys are not going to give up that much capital, even for a talent like that. When you have Diggs coming back next year, and Diggs is still young, he should come back from the ACL and be the corner that he was before the tear. And then you got A.J. Terrell, Jair Alexander, Sante Samuel Jr. Those guys are going to cost too much financially and draft pick wise. So we'll go down to planet Earth. The cornerbacks that we can get and that we should get, the one top on my list and the one I'm going to speak into existence, Chicago Bears cornerback Jalen Johnson, who's in his 4th season. Bears don't seem to want to pay him. If they were going to, they would have done it in the offseason or by now. He's been banged up early this year. He's allowed 58.8 completion percentage, 452 yards, a touchdown, 0 picks, 7 pass breakups. But when healthy, the kid's very good and can play shutdown. And we can get him for a day 2 pick, 3rd or 2nd round pick. He would be the guy to get. Carolina's got Dante Jackson and C.J. Henderson. C.J. Henderson hasn't been good since he was a 1st round pick in 21. Dante Jackson has had some good seasons. He's not having a good season this year. Carolina's winless. They don't have a pass rush. Whenever you have a good pass rush, it makes your job as a cornerback a lot better, a lot easier. And his speed is all world also. Right now he's allowing 76.5 completion rate, 255 yards. He's allowed 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, 0 pass breakups. Then Indianapolis, Richardson out for the year. They're pretty much tanking. Kenny Moore, the 2nd, slot corner. Good coverage guy, but also a very good tackler. In 2021, he had over 100 tackles at cornerback. So far this season, Kenny Moore, the 2nd, he's a great run defender as a corner. He's got 36 tackles, 4 TFLs, a pick, and 3 pass breakups. I don't have his completion percentage in front of me right now, but he's a solid slot guy. If we were to get him, he would supplant Jordan Lewis. He's better than Jordan Lewis. And Jordan Lewis would go back to being cornerback number 4. But him or Jalen Johnson would give us depth. Because right now, if we were to lose one more starting corner, even if it was for 5 or 6 weeks, it'd be devastating. Because then, you would have to have Eric Scott or Nashawn Wright or, one of them boys to step up and play a starting role. And we don't want that. Now, a Will McClay special would be Tennessee's Christian Fulton, who, when he was drafted, his first couple of years was really good. He's kind of fell off. This season, he's allowing 81% completion rate. That's like 4 out of 5 targets completed against you. 221 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. 3 PBUs. That'd be a Will McClay special. You could get him for like a 6th-round pick. Question is, could Dan Quinn get him, in good shape in time? Jalen Johnson is the guy. If we get him by the trade deadline, our secondary is solidified because he plays on the outside. He can play very well. DaRon Bland's numbers reflect the numbers of a cornerback number 1. But Stephon Gilmore seems to be our corner number 1 right now. Seems to match up against the team's number 1 receiver the majority of the time. He's 33 years old. 33, I don't want to see him start wearing down, breaking down as the season goes along. And against good receivers with speed, Gilmore does struggle because he don't have that speed anymore. And so if he's covering like a Hollywood Brown and he's running, across the field, slant pattern, Gilmore just can't keep up stride for stride like Jalen Johnson could or can or DaRon Bland. So Jalen Johnson would be a gem to get before the trade deadline. And besides cornerback, offensive line, Denver, fire sale. Garrett Bowles, left tackle, wants out of there. I would love to get him too. So when Tyron Smith goes out for a couple games, you have a solid left tackle to put in there, instead of Chuma Adoga, or Asim Richards, who hasn't played, really at all. He's, 5th-round rookie. Matt Willetsko hasn't looked good as left or right tackle. That's why I don't understand why we didn't just sign Jason Peters. Jason Peters would have been a beautiful signing, even at 41. Plays left tackle and left guard. One more season. He wants to get that one more ring. I don't know why we didn't bring him in for a cup of coffee. It's not like he's a $10 million guy. So, during this bye week, we got to sit back and look at the offense. The defense will be just fine, and we'll get better, with the absence of Diggs, especially if we trade for a Jalen Johnson. That will solidify our cornerback room and give us depth again that we had before Diggs went down. Our offensive team rankings. Our offense is scoring 25.7 points a game. That's ranked 6th in the league, right? Sounds good. Our yards per game, we're averaging about 330 offensive yards per game. 17th in the league. Okay, that is below the top half. Yards per play, we're averaging 5 yards per play. It's 18th in the league. 18th, below the top half. We're really good on third downs. Third down conversion rate, 47.67%. That's 4th in the league. Pretty good. 4th down, not so good. 28%. It's 27th in the league. Our red zone touchdown rate, 39%. 26th in the NFL. That needs to get fixed and fixed fast. Our touchdowns per game, 2.5 on offense, That ranks ninth. It's all right. Now, what surprised me is that being that we had Tyron Smith healthy, Tyler Smith healthy, Zach Martin healthy, everybody's healthy now. Terrence Steele is still, game by game getting better from that tear. Our run game is not what we thought it would be, nor is our pass protection. That starting five we figured would be a top 5 unit. Our run game, we're averaging 3.9 yards a carry. It's 21st in the league. We're averaging 119.7 yards on the ground per game. That's 9th in the league, but that's because we're just getting a lot of carries. Our runs per game, we're averaging 30 carries a game. Therefore, 119.7 yards. That's 6th in the league, 30 carries a game. Mike said that he wants to run the ball this season. That's all good and well. I understand that. But he needs to uncuff Dak Prescott. He needs to push the ball down the field. Brandon Cooks, we got him because of his speed. It's been 20 years since we had a good speed receiver. Use his ass. We finally used him against the Chargers, even though it was only 4 catches for like 39 yards. But he got that touchdown, and he had that huge 3rd down conversion on 3rd and 11. And then a huge 1st down on a long, 3rd and 9 and whatnot. And he gets 12 yards on and end around. Our defense against the run, well, actually, points per game, we're allowing 16.7 points per game. So that's under 17 a game that we're allowing on defense. It's pretty good. That's 7th in the league. Yards per game, we're allowing 288. It's under 300 yards per game on defense that we're allowing. That's 8th in the league. It's pretty good. Yards per play, we're allowing 5 yards per play. That is 13th in the league. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. 3rd down percentage, we're only allowing 35% 3rd downs. That is 8th in the league. Pretty good. 4th down, we're allowing 45%. It's 15th. Red zone touchdown percentage, we're allowing 53%. Could be better. That's 17th in the league. We're allowing 4.2 yards a carry on defense. That's 19th. That needs to get shored up. We very, very good against the Chargers on their run game. Yards per rush, we're allowing 111 rush yards a game on defense. That's 17th in the league. And then teams are running the ball on average 27 times against us a game. That's 14th. And we're allowing 0.7 rushing touchdowns a game. That's 13th in the league. Now, if you go look at our pass defense is top notch because teams don't want to pass against us. That's why they run the ball at such a high rate. 27 carries a game is pretty high. Our pass defense, teams pass the ball 53% of the time against us. They run the ball 47% of the time against us. So almost an even split. Our completion rate, we allow 60% completion rate on pass defense. That's 5th in the league. Yards per pass, 6.2. It's 13th in the league. Teams pass the ball about 28 times on average a game against us. That is 12th in the league. We allow 177 pass yards a game. That is 3rd in the NFL. It's pretty good, allowing 177 yards to the air on average. Our interception rate is 4.71. So, that's almost 5% of the passes thrown against us get picked. That's number 1 in the NFL. It's not bad. And sacks, Our sack rate is 8.6%. That's 8th in the NFL. Pass defense is great. Run defense has some to be desired. Mozzie Smith, first defensive tackle we taken in the first round since Russell Maryland in 1991. He was a patience pick. We knew that. I want to see him get more reps. Like I said, against New England, when the game was over at halftime, he had 17 snaps that whole game. He should have played the entire second half. Why he didn't, I don't know. Were we afraid New England was going to have a big comeback? I doubt that. But if during the season Mozzie Smith can get to where he needs to be as a run stopper next to Hankins, that will be huge. That will be very huge. Because we stop the run, we get teams forcing the pass. That is playing our ball game. That is feeding right into what we want to do. We shall see. Now, we have 2 weeks to get this offense figured out here. This new offensive line coach that came from Seattle, I don't like him too much so far. When you have Tyron Smith, Tyler Smith, Biadash, Martin, and Steele, that's a hell of a good starting five right there. You finally got them healthy. You had them for 2 games, and they looked like crap. Against the Chargers, we allowed 5 sacks. 5 sacks. And we couldn't run the ball. Pollard had 15 carries for 30 yards. Dak was the leading rusher with 40. We weren't getting no push. B-Dash isn't 100%. I understand that. That's why on that 4th and 1, he got pushed backwards. Therefore Dak couldn't really get anywhere. Hopefully after the bye week, coming off a Pro Bowl season, contract year, Tyler B-Dash can play that center role like he did last season, which he played it pretty well. And he was not Travis Frederick. They both come from Wisconsin, but he was a good starting center last year. Terrence Steele's getting better. Last season, we could run the ball on the right side of the line behind Martin and Steele with impunity. This season hasn't been the case so far. Offensive line coach needs to get that figured out, especially with our starting five healthy. Take advantage of them while they're healthy. We come out of the bye week, home against the Rams, and then at Philly. We're going to need that offensive line to be playing at their best against Philly, against Hassan Reddick, against Josh Sweat, Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter, who has been a surprisingly damn good rookie. I thought he might have a rookie year like Jordan Davis did. Now, Jordan Davis in the sophomore season is playing very good run D. And by the way, Philadelphia just signed Julio Jones, who, if anything, will probably just be a red zone threat. He's just trying to get a ring before he retires. The ring he should have got in 2016. Last season, he can't stay healthy. Last season, he started 5 games, played in 11. He'll probably be more of a voice in the locker room to the younger receivers than anything else. I don't see him making much of an impact on the field at all. Point differential so far. We are number 6 in the league, plus 54 point differential. It's pretty good. Detroit is 5th at plus 55, 1 more than us. And then KC is 4th at 59. That's 5 more than us. Then Miami started at 67, Buffalo 2nd at 84. San Fran is 1st at plus 97 point differential in 6 games. That's pretty good. Turnover differential. Guess who's number 1? San Fran plus 8. Number 2, Jacksonville plus 6. Tied for 3rd, Dallas and Houston Jacksonville plus 7. Tied for 3rd, Dallas and Houston plus 6. So we're 3rd in turnover differential, 6th in point differential. Those are good categories to be in. One thing I want to hit on is this is our bye week, right? We want to rest. We want to get healthy. You can win a bye week. You can, even though you don't play. So Philly has Miami coming to their house Sunday night. High-flying Dolphins. We all know the Eagles' secondary is suspect. Week 1, Mac Jones looked like Tom Brady. At the end of the game, if that rookie receiver would have got 2 feet in bounds while he's catching the ball going out of bounds at the 8-yard line, he would have stopped the clock with plenty of time for Mac Jones to throw 3 balls into that end zone. 8 yards out to win the game. He had 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. Looked amazing. And that was with the secondary completely healthy. Now Avonte Maddox is gone for the season. They signed Bradley Roby to replace him. He's hurt. The guy that replaced CJG, Reed Blankenship, battling injury right now, even healthy, is not that good. Terrell Edmonds is not as good as Marcus Epps was as strong safety. Darius Slade battling injury right now. Even healthy, that secondary was bad. Miami, I think Tyreek Hill, Sunday night. The offensive line gives Tua just enough time. So all you got to do is give him 3 seconds because those receivers are so fast. They get to where they got to get to quickly. I think Tyreek Hill can set season highs this year in yards, catches, and touchdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if you see the Cheetah go off with 13 catches, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. And if Jalen Waddle is healthy enough to play, that's even a bigger boost. And then the running backs, I mean, they're all speed. Raheem Mostert, who is not running back number 2, is a good back with dynamite speed. And that rookie running back that they drafted, I didn't even hear about him, as one of the backs coming out. Super fast, super good. Very easily could Philly be 5-2 after week 7. So we'd be 4-2, they'd be 5-2. We'd be a half game behind the Eagles. And then Monday night, San Fran goes to Minnesota. Can Minnesota's offense wake up and put on a clinic? I don't think so, because isn't Justin Jefferson hurt for the foreseeable future? So San Fran will probably be 6-1 after week 7. They play Seattle twice. They play Philadelphia. They have the best chance of getting the 1 seed. Philly's next 6 games are against Miami, and then against the Commanders, who took them to overtime, and then against us. Then they have a bye week. After the bye week, they go to Kansas City. Then they have Buffalo at home, and then they have who is it? Seattle at home, I think. I don't know. I know the next 6 games are super tough. And losing against the Jets, a game they were supposed to win, a game they were not supposed to lose, was huge. Just like us losing to Arizona, a game we were not supposed to lose. So that kind of evens out there. We weren't supposed to lose against the Cards. They weren't supposed to lose against the Jets. Eagles have not looked the same this season. Jalen Hurts has not looked the same this season. He's on pace for 20 interceptions. Losing their offensive and defensive coordinator was huge. Losing the offensive coordinator was really big because their offense don't look the same at all. Their identity was run the football last season, run the football, run the football. Now, since A.J. Brown had that big, scene on the sideline, seems like they become a passing team. He had 45 attempts against the Jets defense. That Jets defense that we were able to score 30 on offense. So it's wide open. But the biggest thing during this bye week is Mike McCarthy needs to loosen the reins on the offense. I understand wanting to play conservative. I understand wanting to run the football. But if you're running the football and you're averaging 2 yards a carry, and it's not working, but Dak's cooking, let him cook. Don't be worried about those 15 interceptions last year. That was an aberration. He's never had an interception play season like he did last season. He came back early off a broken thumb that had screws and plates in it. That had a lot to do with it. And about 6 of those interceptions were on the receivers. That's been documented. But, it all goes on the quarterback. Now, he did kill us in the playoffs with those 2 picks. We were 2 plays away from beating San Fran. That's ancient history also. Let Dak cook. Whenever we passed the ball against the Chargers, we were making plays. Right before that, Dak escapes the pocket and hits Pollard on the run, and Pollard goes 60. On that drive on the 1st and 2nd down, when Mike ran the ball on 1st down and then ran the ball on 2nd down, got a yard. I thought he was coaching to lose. I thought the man was that close to getting us to lose a game. Then on 3rd down, he calls a pass play. Thank God. And our offensive line doesn't do their job, but it's okay. Dak gets out of the pocket and then hits Tony in stride. Tony breaks the tackle. I'm surprised he got caught, but he did. But we still scored on the drive anyway. He needs to loosen the reins. Let Dak do what he does. Let Dak throw the ball across the field. He's got Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup had 10 targets to CeeDee Lamb 7. 3 receptions on 10 targets. He dropped a touchdown pass that Dak threaded the needle in between the safeties. Oh, boom, he drops it. Michael Gallup is in better physical shape this season than last year, but it's something mental that he's got to break through. Jerry Jones is funny about when he pays somebody, he wants them to get involved no matter what. So that's why when they asked him, does he want Lamb to get more targets? He says, I don't know about that. I think we should spread it out to the receivers and tight ends. And Jerry Jones is specifically telling Mike McCarthy and Dak Prescott that he wants to feed Gallup the football. Therefore, you get the 10 targets against the Chargers. That's stupid. And the only reason why is because Gallup got paid. He's making $13 million a year. Just like in 2021, when Lyle Collins was suspended for 6 games, Terrence Steele was playing right tackle at a very high level. And we were running the football like nobody's business. After his suspension, Jerry Jones won Lyle Collins back at right tackle. Even though it was a downgrade, Terrence Steele was the better right tackle in 2021. But he had to sit on the bench and let Collins play because Collins had got paid. That's just the way Jerry is. I would rather right now have Tolbert playing Gallup's spot. I think he would do better. I would love to see Gallup get back to MG13 form. And I hope he does this season. But until then, don't force feed him the ball. Throw it to him when he's open. And he needs to not drop them touchdown passes. Dak has 5 dropped touchdown passes this season. 5 of them. Those passes don't get dropped. His stats look a lot better than they do. And we've got to be able to push the ball down the field. We've got to be able to throw for 300, 350 whenever we need to. We need to be able to score 4 or 5 offensive touchdowns. We can't be so conservative. Before halftime against the Chargers, 41 seconds, Michael Gallup catches the ball, goes out of bounds, but his forward progress was stopped. The ref winds the clock. We have 2 timeouts. There's 41 seconds left. And we don't call a timeout. It takes us 20 seconds to get to the line and call the next play. You call a timeout there, have 41 seconds left in a timeout, and your ultimate goal is to get in the end zone. We get the ball to the 14 with 8 seconds left and we have a timeout. You call a timeout and take 1 shot to the end zone, either to where your receiver can catch it or nobody can catch it. But no, Mike lets it tick down to 3 seconds, takes a field goal. Coaching not to lose, not coaching to win. That's what got to beat against San Fran. 7-21. 7-21 to score. It's 4th and 2. And he chooses not to go for it. You have to go for it there. And then on the field goal attempt, the 4th down, it was 7-21. He kicks a field goal. It's 10-21. The chances to win the game did not go up, not 1% with that field goal. He has to be more aggressive. I know he wants to run the ball. But until this offensive line gets their act together and starts pushing the defensive line backwards, if the running game isn't working, I mean, yeah, run here and there. But if Dak is doing his thing, let him do his thing. He's got talent everywhere. Jake Ferguson is a good tight end. Get him more involved. He had one catch against San Diego, or against LA. He had one catch. Jake Ferguson is a good tight end, and he gets yak every time he catches a football. He'll catch a 7-yard pass, take it for 17. Get him more involved. You got CeeDee Lamb, you got Brandon Cooks, you got a questionable Gallup, you got Jalen Tolbert, you got Devontae Turpin. So 2 of those guys are super speedsters. And you got one dog in CeeDee Lamb. Keyshawn Johnson, Richard Sherman say they don't think he's an alpha number 1. He's a 3rd player in franchise, a rich franchise history, to have over 100 catches in a season. Only the playmaker and Jason Witten have done that. They only did that once. Lamb had 103 catches last season. He is an alpha dog number 1. Feed him the ball. Get him involved early every game. They got him involved early against the Chargers. He had a big game. Our defense will be fine. Our defense will be just fine, and we'll get better adjusting to life without Diggs, especially if we trade for a Jalen Johnson. We do that, we're golden. And especially if Mozzie Smith can develop and continue to grow into a run stopper and help Hankins out. Osi Odighizuwa is having a breakout season as a 3-tech. We've been waiting for that to happen. He's been making plays. Marquise Bell looks like he could be a gem. I want to see Wanye Thomas more, because he looks like he's playing better than Wilson or Curse. They look like they've kind of regressed a little bit. But that win before the bye week was so big on so many levels, for confidence, for your mental stability, for how you feel. You feel good, you play good, right? So if we win the bye week, Detroit, the other 5-1 team, they go to Baltimore. Their one big win was against Kansas City without Kelsey and Chris Jones. Why Kansas City did not pay Chris Jones until week 3 is beyond me. I mean, best defensive tackle in the league, and he would have made up for that 1-point loss. Kansas City would have won week 1, but Detroit beat them by 1 point. Okay. The following week, they lose against Seattle. Seattle loses both of their tackles. They still beat the Lions. Now, the Lions have been winning. They just beat Tampa Bay. Tampa is fraudulent. They beat them 20-6. It's not like they blew them out or anything like that. So Detroit goes to Baltimore, and Baltimore handles business and drops them to 5-2. And Miami lights up the scoreboard in Lincoln Financial Field and gives Philly their 2nd loss. Then we are 4-2. Philly and Detroit is 5-2. We're half game out, first place in our division. And San Fran is most likely 6-1. And I mean, it's very possible, seeing what the Browns defense did, Jim Schwartz, that team start to copy that game plan. Now, the Browns defense is better than anyone expected. They have allowed the 3rd fewest yards in NFL history through 6 games. Who would have seen that coming, right? But rolling over us 42-10, I'd rather that happen week 5 than January. I'd rather that happen than us beat them week 5 barely, and then in January them have our number. We've seen championship teams plenty of times get beat down early in the season and later in the year return the favor. Like in 2003 when Lawyer Malloy got cut by the Patriots and went to Buffalo. Early that year they went to New England and waxed them 38-10. The last game of the regular season, the Patriots go to Buffalo, wax them 38-10. It be that way sometimes. We have the 3rd largest odds to come out of the NFC and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl right now. I believe if we trade for a Jalen Johnson and an offensive lineman. And it ain't got to be Garrett Bowles, but somebody better than who we have at offensive lineman number 6 right now. Somebody better than Adoga. Somebody better than Asim Richards. Kid's just a rookie. Somebody better than Let's Go. There's one more guy we have that I'm not. I guess I'm thinking of TJ Bass, but he's guard. Brock Hoffman, center. If we get Jalen Johnson by the trade deadline and an offensive lineman, a tackle preferably, doesn't have to be Garrett Bowles, just somebody better than who we have now, we'll be in great position to make a run. After the bye week, we play at home against the Rams. We haven't lost at home since week 1 last season against Tampa. Since then, we've won in a row. We had 9 games at home, so that's 8. We've won 10 in a row at home so far. And yeah, the Rams ran over Arizona 23-6, whatever. I believe we're a much better team than the Rams. I think we'll come out of the bye week, handle business against the Rams, be 5-2, go up against it'll be a 6-2 or 5-3 Eagle team in Philly, and that'll be the next big game. And if we're healthy, I believe we can pull that out. The only way we pull that out is if we let Dak throw the football. If we try to run the ball the majority of the game, it ain't gonna work. You let that ball fly. Like he put up 40 against that secondary last season, he could do it again. But he's got more talent at receiver now. Last Christmas Eve, he had CeeDee Lamb, T.Y. Hilton with a 4th and 30. Now he's got Lamb, Cooks, Gallup, big question mark. Gallup had a 94-yard game a few games ago, so he can show up. Jalen Tolbert, he's bound to have a breakout game sometime. Jake Ferguson is a balling ass tight end. To get him the ball, get Pollard the ball in space, get Turpin the ball in space. Design some good screenplays for them. This offense can be very explosive if Mike lets him. And Jerry needs to really send that message to McCarthy that we don't want a damn stagnant offense. We don't want a 2000 Ravens offense because we don't have a 2000 Ravens defense. We have a good defense, but not a defense that's going to, do what they did to the Chargers every game. Chargers are a very good offense. We shut them down. They would have only scored 10 if not Tolbert thinking it was a live ball and giving them the football at the 20. That doesn't happen. The Chargers are held to 10 points. I predicted that we were going to hold them to 10 points. They got 17 because of the special teams. That was impressive because that's a high-flying offense with Kellen Moore. He likes to throw the ball. And we only got 1 sack. That was at the end of the game. And that was the only sack that mattered. And Gilly closed out the game in fashion. So this bye week, keep your ears open, your eyes open, and let's see if we make a move during the bye week or possibly after Sunday also. If we make a move, I would rather it be this week so said player can have time and whoever we trade for can be ready for the Eagles game week 9. Whether it be Jalen Johnson or Kenny Moore or whoever we go for. I want to get them and I want them to be ready for week 9 because that's going to be for first place of the division of the NFC East. And if we get a home playoff game in the playoffs, that could possibly lead to 2 home playoff games if we're the number 2 seed. And if we're able to get 2 home playoff games, our chances of getting to where we want to get to since 95 go up exponentially, being that we play very good at home now. Man, I can't believe that my first video, 20 minutes, is stopped recording. I can't believe that. I had some good stuff. I believe I hit on everything that I was going to hit on. Wrote a bunch of notes down for all this, guys. You know, our team rankings. Oh, interesting. Special teams. Our field goal conversion. You know, Brandon Aubrey is perfect. 16 to 16, I think. So we're 100% on field goals. It's number one in the NFL. Opponents against us, field goal percentage of 66.67. That is number 2 in the NFL. So teams that kick against us, field goal wise, don't seem to fare too well. That's pretty cool, being number 1 in field goals and number 2 in, you know, field goals being against us. That means opponents miss 1 out of every 3 field goals they attempt. Miss or get blocked or tipped or whatever. Any sacks? I wanted to get to that real quick. Offensive line, our tackles, our guards. Tyler Smith, you know, we drafted him first round last season. He was the most flagged player in the FBS. That's why they scrutinized the pick, because we had penalty problems in 21. Tyler Smith has been the most flagged player on our team this year. Him and Javon Curse both have 6 apiece. And then you got Terrence Steele with 4. And then Micah Parsons, Gilmore, Adoga, Bland, and Lamb with 3 apiece. But Tyler Smith with 6 flags already. We got to cut the penalties out. Those are killing us. Those are killing us against the Chargers. Big time. Dak right here. Through 6 games, he has 1,333 passing yards. He's been sacked 14 times. That's 2 a game and then 3 in 2 other games on average. That's averaging more than 2 sacks a game. 14 sacks is unacceptable with that starting five that we have. Allowing 5 sacks against, I don't care if you Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa's out there or not. When you have, you know, that starting five that we have, and you allow 5 sacks, Morgan Fox getting 2 of them, and he didn't have one all year, that's unacceptable. I mean, Tyler Smith is a big dog at left guard. Zach Martin is the best as it gets at right guard. Pia Dash needs to step up his game at center. Dak has 6 touchdown passes to 4 interceptions. Should have 11 touchdown passes. Tony Pollard, 96 carries, 370 yards, 3.9 a tote, 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 61 yards a game on the ground. Rico Dowdle, 28 carries, a $107. And then Cavante Turpin, 6 for 66. I really wish we'd have kept Ezekiel Elliott, given him $4 million, two more in incentives. I mean, against who the Patriots play? They played the Raiders last game. Zeke Elliott broke off a 77-yard run, but he got called back by stupid penalty. Elliott has gas in the tank still. We should have retained him. I did not want to see him go. Give him that $4 million, $2 million in incentives. That would have made a big difference for our offense, especially on the red zone areas and the goal to go and the 4th and 1, the 3rd and 1. Really, really wish we wouldn't have been that stupid thinking he was completely washed up, because he's not. So I would like to see 40 ounce get some more opportunities. He has, I think, 3 carries for the whole season. Hunter Lupiki, fullback / running back, 230 pounds, has speed. Give him a shot, especially in games where you're up. Give that kid a shot, see what he can do. Mike McCarthy, you got ran out of Green Bay because you're running such a stagnant, just vanilla West Coast offense. And Aaron Rodgers couldn't stand it. Stop it. You named it the Texas Coast offense to try to throw everybody off, thinking it was going to be a mix of Kellen Moore and your style. It's 100% WCO. Change it up. Push the ball down the field. Open up this offense like it can be. This offense was the number 1 and number 4 offense the last 2 years, respectively. This offense can ball the fuck out. Don't be the man that stands in the way. Yeah, you coached the game against the Chargers. You won by 3. That field goal that you took before the half was the 3 points that decided the game. So what? You could have won by 21. That's a fact. Mike needs to stop playing so conservative. Stop thinking that Dak's going to give every game away, because he's not. Have faith in your quarterback. He's all we got, and he can play very good. That was one of the best games I've seen him play. He evaded sacks like 5 or 6 different times, and they had him dead to rights. He looked like Tony Romo out there, just dancing in the pocket, getting out of the pocket. And when Dak rolls out of the pocket and escapes pressure, that's when he's at his best, because he's able to find somebody open downfield and makes a play. Or runs. He finally ran the ball 40 yards. RPO. Finally ran an RPO this season. And what happens? 19 yards untouched into the end zone. The play before that, 3rd and 5, he scrambles for 4 yards and nails the linebacker. Gives him, that finishing move that Zeke does. The next play, runs the RPO. The following drive, nobody's open. He scrambles for 12. If Dak will start to use his legs, like I keep saying, that will add another dimension to this offense that defenses will have to respect, because they don't respect his running ability. They don't believe he'll run, that he'll take off out of the pocket. So therefore, nobody spies him. They can play man coverage. Everybody's back can be to him. And they're not worried about him running, because he won't. But if he'll do what he did against the Chargers, at least run the ball 3 or 4 times a game. And if you're in the middle of the field, slide. You don't have to leave with your shoulder. Slide, Dak. And if they touch you, it's 15 yards. Diggs is out for the year, yes. This team still has a lot of talent. We make the right trade at the deadline. We're as good as anybody in the NFL. This season, 2023, can still be the season we thought it was going to be when it started. That's all I got for this episode, guys. Please subscribe, like, and share. 53 minutes. Goodness. Please hit the red subscribe button. If you watch till the end, you're a real one, and I love you for it. And I guarantee you the prizes that I told you are real if people seriously donate to the channel. Help me build the channel. Help me. And soon, this room is where all the magic will be. Soon, it'll be painted blue and silver. We just moved into a new house, a lot going on. I'll be cutting videos more often now. And this is where the studio is going to be set up. But I need help from Cowboys Nation to get there. And I guarantee you will not regret it. Subscribe, you will not regret it. When I hit 500 subs, and then when I hit 1,000 subscribers, this show will take off like a diamond gem. And I will have that call-in line. That call-in line is key to live shows. I don't know why more people don't have it. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Enjoy the bye week. We can't lose on Sunday. Hopefully we win. This Sunday, we're Ravens and Dolphin fans. And then Monday night, we're Viking fans. You never know. Minnesota could pull a rabbit out of a hat. Wouldn't that be something if Sunday the Lions and Eagles lose and then Monday night the Niners drop another one? Wouldn't that be something? That would be freaking nuts. So let's see if we can win this bye week, guys. Ravens fans and Dolphin fans on Sunday. We'll be Raven fans at noon. Dolphin fans Sunday night. Then Monday night, Viking fans. And our boys better be careful, be safe, and don't do nothing stupid. And then get the rest that they need. And then come out against the Rams, replenish. Because if you notice, against the Chargers, the defense looked tired. Even though they played lights out, they looked tired because that San Fran game wore them out. They were on the field a long time. Like Micah said, after the playoff game last year, he was sore for a week. Niners team is tough, but they can't be beaten. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. I'll get y'all guys on the flip side. First class content all day, every day. Keep it real. I'll see y'all guys soon. Charles and Charges out.